Welcome back. In case you're joining us, we haven't gone too far. We're only halfway talking about alternative dispute resolutions with Phyllis, who happens to be an expert in the area. She's also a legal mind and a former banker. I don't know that she still does banking. And she's also a champion for women in alternative dispute resolution. Again, I'm learning so much because this is an area I've been thinking about and knowing and actually seeing a person who is doing it and who is also going far and beyond to have that environment for women to do it. I think it's so incredible and it's such an honor to have Phyllis here. Phyllis, who can and who cannot go for alternative dispute resolution, especially when it comes to criminal matters? Like, where do we draw the line?
That's an interesting one, and sometimes a little tricky.
Yes.
Because initially we just said criminal matters must go to court.
Yes.
Civil matters, we can see how we can negotiate.
Yes, yes.
But there have been instances where we have been seeing there's been death, sometimes amongst the clans.
Yeah.
And they say their culture allows them to take an animal.
Yeah.
And sometimes what do you do? Because if you go to court, there'll be no one to prosecute such a matter.
True.
And the same thing with defilement. So we do have some groups that are rallying behind taking care of such victims.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's nothing much you can do as a mediator. Yes. Because there's nothing much you can do as a mediator. But when it's a criminal case,
Yes.
Sometimes you're guided by different principles.
Okay.
Like I remember there was one that I was dealing with a succession, and one of the parties insisted there was a forgery. And you see now once it gets into that element and they're sticking to that,
Yes.
now it became very hard to move on from there.
I agree.
And that is one matter now that had to go back to court because of the element of forgery. Probably now they're going to get to the root and see if it was really a forgery or not. Yes. So there are just those elements, and there are those elements that would guide you, that you just say this one, if you go ahead with it and you come up with a settlement, it's likely to be challenged if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Because remember, at the end of it all, when you do a mediation and there's a settlement through court, it is recorded, it is binding on the parties. Yes, so that is what basically you look at.
Yeah.
Yes, be careful on criminal matters, avoid them as much as possible. Yes.
That's a good point to note, because criminal matters mostly involve a hurt or even a deceased person.
Yes.
Because when we're talking of a simple thing like slander, which is an actual criminal offense, then someone might say something about you. Then there's this other entire world where maybe a life or lives have been lost. And I can understand how we also struggle with community guidelines and beliefs and culture. And also on the other end, I think in the urban areas now we have to acknowledge, because even if you try to do such a thing like compensate with a goat, there could be an uproar from the community. That's why you see, even you've seen especially in Kisii, they lynch old women, you know. You're right, it's very messy.
Yeah, it's messy. Actually, I can throw in one.
Yes, please.
Whereby you find this lady's in the slums. Then the husband is defiling the daughter.
And it's very common.
Now,
yeah,
they argue if they take that man to prison, they'll have nobody putting food on the table.
Very true.
You see how dirty and messy it can get.
It is.
Yes.
It is. I think I consume a lot of content on, I guess, people who've also been in the system, that is incarceration and out. And when you hear how it goes, you're just like, I wish it was just black and white.
Sometimes
it's not.
Unfortunately.
Yes. I'll never forget, I think I was in second year in uni, and one of our lecturers said law is a word I won't use, but then they say basically a double-ended sword or an oxymoron, because on this end it's straightens, but on this other end it can be the same thing that will cause all this damage.
Maybe I just interject on that. Sometimes
yes.
Some judges have seen such matters before them, and they know if they go strictly by the law, somebody will suffer.
I agree.
And probably sometimes they just say, go to mediation.
Yes.
Because when you sit as a family and you come up with a solution, then it is easier for them to adopt it. But they see if they go strictly by the law, some very innocent people will suffer.
And a lot of them.
Yes.
The ripple effect is large. And
so there are those cases that you find the judge just looks at the matter and says, no, let it go to mediation.
Yes.
And they have come for mediation and we've reached very good settlements. Yes.
Criminal matters, there will be a hard party. This other one is not only hard parties, but they are all running on everything, and the most innocent people suffer, especially children.
True.
And it's not a funny journey.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's very exposing, and it's tough, and it drains you. And sometimes you see it, so the person who even insists on going to court, it's not even reasonable. Hence, I do agree that even advocates have an influence over their clients because they want to just go and fight it off.
And sometimes they lie.
Yes.
Because somebody gives you a stark lie in court.
Yes.
You are so shocked you don't know what to do or say.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes, actually, I have a friend who said during the divorce, the husband produced pictures of her with some men. The truth of the matter was, those were family photos during a Christmas celebration.
Oh, no.
But now, how does the court understand that? You know, the way you're in a family meeting, a bash and all that. Okay, take a picture. But now that is what the spouse presents in court. You see, so it becomes very untidy, very messy when you go that way. But you find if it's in a mediation, it's back a bit. What's your problem? What's your interest? How do you like it? And it's stuck at this. Would you consider this? That's what you keep telling the parties. And at the end of it all, it's a win-win for all the parties. And then it's confidential. What leaves that part is only the agreement.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I can say, not to discredit magistrates and judges, you know, once I've seen it whereby in one day a magistrate will have 30, 40 matters to handle, whether it's a mention, whether it's a hearing, whether it's whatever it is. Of course, they wouldn't give this particular case a lot of time to let the parties who are aggrieved.
They don't have the luxury of time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sometimes your matter is mentioned in 2 minutes and you've been having a very heavy heart for a whole month. I can see it. And again, I hope that the message can get to our audience. Try other means.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about women in ADR. And I know that's an area that you've been feeling the need to bring up. And you had mentioned that wanaingia wengi, but on the other end, there are very few who are making it. Just walk us through that. So
maybe just briefly about women in ADR.
Yes.
Women in ADR, we are really about positioning women for ADR, just to ensure that they are up to speed and they can give quality service. Our patron is Justice Olwach, Joyce Olwach. She's been very supportive.
Oh, lovely.
Very, very supportive, and has ensured that we are doing what needs to be done.
Yes.
You know, she has a lot of exposure out of the country, in the country, a pioneer here and there.
Yes.
She's our patron and very supportive.
Yes.
We shall be having a moot court in her honor at Nazarene University from 6th to May. 6th to 9th of May.
Oh my goodness, that's the only one time I'm out of town. Why?
And this will be the universities having moot courts on mediation.
Yes.
So that is actually, I think, next week. So we are looking forward to that.
Yes.
And so we are mentoring the youth as much as possible, looking at women also in this ADR space, how we can up our game, because mentorship plays a very, very big role.
Exactly.
One of the reasons why we also started Women in ADR is that we realize sometimes we have a problem in funding.
Yes.
We hope we shall be able to have a kitty and support women at different stages to have their trainings.
Absolutely.
We will be looking at partners to see how we can train them, and also just motivate them.
True.
When I look at my arbitration class, which I did, I think, the introduction was 2007 or 8 or something like that.
Yes.
Very few people, very few of those ladies are still in arbitration.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just even like the court system, you find we have very many lawyers beginning, but you find there are complexities that come as a woman.
Exactly.
You have to take care of the children.
Yes.
You have to take care of your parents.
Yes.
You have to take care of yourself.
Yep.
And you find that we need extra attention.
Yes.
We need extra care to make it.
Yeah.
And that is why, as women in ADR, we are there to give each other a safe space and find out from each other what is the challenge.
Exactly.
If I was with you in the introductory class 10 years ago, and you haven't done anything about it, what's the problem? Is it finances? Is it emotional support that you need? So these are the women we are trying to bring together, and just also we're trying to bring them together and make them aware of the opportunities out there. Because it's one, you can start and you can be very young. We will mentor you as a young person in age.
Yes.
But again, you can be young in the space that you've just started your mediation, maybe sometimes after retirement, or redundancy or whatever. So how do we support each other as women so that we can forge on and make sure that we're all there at the top without leaving anyone behind?
Yes. Wow, this gives me a lot of motivation, because first, as a woman, we get discredited a lot, especially when we have children, when you're of a certain age. But now I'm hearing you can even do it after retirement. I'm thinking of my own father, who is very sharp, retired engineer, and I see the struggles of after retirement. You know, a lot of people are so used to routine and being busy, and suddenly there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. They're just home alone and wallowing, and yet there can be this other angle they can take. I don't know, it's just me in my mind, but it's so incredible that there's great hope out there. Personally, I feel like I've encountered a prayer. I've been praying, because sometimes I'm like, I'm like, okay, even if I go to syrup, who is going to mentor me? Who's going to work with me? And of course, like also having a platform. I have a very huge platform, and sometimes that's all it takes to put the message out. True. And you can do multiple things at once. I'm a believer of that. So it's really, really incredible. All right. So you had mentioned of an NGO. Is it the Women in ADR NGO?
Okay.
Or what is the NGO?
Okay, personally, I run an NGO, SEED, Center for Economic Empowerment and Development, whereby one of the pillars is access to justice, and we train in mediation. But under Women in ADR, we are an association. And we are structured. We have several structures, on just as we reach out to. We tend to focus on women, because as women, we have different challenges. It is normal. I mean, many cases you find a lady goes to work with her children. It is more acceptable for you to go to work with your children than for the man to go to work with the children. You see? So we want to accommodate each other in such spaces. And like another case that I was having for mediation, one of the parties was telling me she's just gotten a baby. So she cannot come for a physical session. So I've been trying to think on how can I make it easier for her, because the cases are also time bound. The cases are time bound. So you find as women we have different delicate intricacies on dealing with situations, and what might be a solution for you might not be a solution for another woman.
Agreed.
So as we get into it and we get more and more deeper into Women in ADR, those are the things we shall be looking at. The solution at Wajir, Mandera, might not be the solution in Western.
Never.
I happen to be a trustee at Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. So I've actually traversed the whole of Kenya. And as I've done that, I've seen different problems in different places. And these are areas that we are also looking at using our platform to reach out to the women in the various communities.
Exactly. And sometimes that's all it takes. Being there, telling them. There's a summit I attended, and somebody asked, why do you think people fail in business, or they can't kickstart their business? And honestly, for a minute there, everyone is like, money, it's money, it's money. No, I said it's knowledge.
It's knowledge, and the mindset.
And the mindset. If you can get that together, you can be able to achieve anything you want. This is so incredible. So where can a person who might need a mentor or mentorship, or even join and give back into the organization, where can they find you?
We are actually on we are on there's our website, Women in ADR. Our contacts are there. Using that, you can reach out to any of us. Yes, so we have a committee, an executive committee of about 10 members leading the other women, and more are joining. So that is where you get us at the moment. From there, depending on the activity,
of course,
then we are available.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry, this had slipped my mind, but let me ask as we wrap up. Say Maureen decides to take the path of arbitration. I get my introduction class. Before I decide to get the other 40-hour class, there's that time period. What is expected of me at that time? Should I be in a firm, or should I be having a mentor, or how do I refine the skills until I can go to the next level?
Actually, now it depends on you and how innovative you are and how proactive you are. You could you could approach any of us in Women in ADR and find out if there's some space we could accommodate you. However, once you do the 40 hours, there's a specific mentorship program. It is it's structured that we can take you through. So it's up to you then. And people are innovative. There are those who have gone to the chief's camps to see what goes on. You know, it's giving yourself exposure where there are disputes, see how they are handled. Sometimes even watch YouTube and see how disputes are being handled and all that. And go for different trainings, go for workshops. Don't relax. I am still learning and I will not stop learning.
It will never.
So that's the thing. I mean, just be proactive. See something that is in that line, in peace, anything regarding peace, dispute resolution. Just engage. There are several, some that are free, some that are not free, but everything worthwhile has a cost. And should be scared.
Other than obviously now your website and maybe CIAB, and you mentioned NCIA,
CIAB,
and
Women in ADR.
Where else can somebody source, especially the knowing? Are there groups that will, like with any other industry, they usually get together so that they can ask each other ABCD. How does it work? Is there where am I getting this information that there's a workshop coming up?
For now, probably at the end of the show, I'll share with you my contacts that they are running. We have Women in ADR. We have a WhatsApp group which can take up to 1,000, and we can still open others. All these opportunities we post on that. Yes, we post on our website, but you realize somehow Kenya has taken up WhatsApp much faster.
It's true.
And even mails. So we do post up all of these opportunities on our WhatsApp page, on our website. And from there, you shall know about the opportunities that are there, and then you can engage.
Great.
And so to be our member at the moment for students, we have a special rate of 1,000 shillings per annum, which is very reasonable.
That's reasonable, yes.
For members, we are charging 3,000. That one is going on for this month. Come June, we might increase it a little. But you see, once you're in the WhatsApp group, you have access to various benefits.
Absolutely.
Because we give you some subsidized rates, some subsidized rates to some of our functions. There are some of our functions our partners invite us. And we usually give you an opportunity to attend. And then there are times some of our partners wants to sponsor our members. So we will ask who on the platform is available with that timing. So with joining Women in ADR, you are able to access so many of these opportunities. I will share the link. I will share with you the contact so that our members and the public can see and be quick to join us.
Please do. You can share now. You can share now.
The
number.
Yes.
No, would you like to share with me personally?
I will share with you so that you run it. Yes, at the end of it, also that they can pick the number.
Fantastic.
Yes, because that will be, there's a small form that we fill, a link that can be shared. Yes, and when they get into that link, it will give the bank details and all that. And from there now they can join. Once the bank details the money has been paid, there's communication with our administrator who will relate you onto the WhatsApp group, and from there you can benefit from all the benefits the other members can access.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Is the lowest, or rather you have to be a student, or can you join even if you're not a student but you're hoping in another couple of months or a few years you could join the industry?
I believe as long as you're passionate about ADR, you are welcome.
Great.
Yes.
Until you factor
Until you
in
reach
and
the apex.
yes.
But even if you're not a practitioner yet,
Yes, yes.
it is good to join us. You shall see the different institutions offering the courses. Then you can do the course. You shall see the different workshops that are there. Then you can attend. You may not want to go through the structured 40-hour immediately, but there are those master classes that are here and there. There are workshops that are here and there. You can be able to attend them as you prepare yourself to now properly get into a structured way, get it in a structured way. But we are not limiting anyone from joining us as long as you have an interest in ADR.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, if you're there, you might as well, you know, have an interest and also attend what needs to be attended.
Yes.
At that very, very fair membership registration.
Yes, that's an annual membership. 3,000 till the end of June. No, till the end of May. So come June, maybe we might increase it a little. Just take care of our overheads.
Yes. And of course, for at this point, members. And then now you have the one for students.
We have for students, and then we also have for corporates. The corporates, we have the minimum of 25,000 Kenya shillings per annum.
Yes.
And then there are different benefits that you can have with that. Probably like during the moot court, you can come and put up your banner and talk to the community about your area of interest. If it's a bank, you can come and use that opportunity to talk about the services you're offering in the banking sector. If it is UN Women, you can reach out more to these students, because again, what I've realized that whenever I've interacted with students, you get to know their deeper problems.
Exactly.
Sometimes a student will tell you, I don't have fees. You see, my mom and father, they are not together. You see, and then you as you get out with these students, now they tend to open up better to you. I was in a forum the other day whereby somebody reached out to one of those women and said, "You're the one who helps children against defilement. I'm being defiled by so and so." You see, so it's in being in those sectors, in those areas, that the public can reach out to you. Because if we stay in our cocoons, they won't reach out to us.
I agree.
If we attend public functions, we mention what we are doing, then we get the people that we should also be attending to.
Yes. Goodness, as you can tell, I've been asking these questions mostly for myself, and hopefully, you know,
for everyone,
our audience learns, because this show is all about, especially informing, telling people there's so much to do in the world. And you can just identify that one thing. Maybe by nature, you're a peacemaker.
Yes.
You're right?
Yes, true.
Maybe you've had an experience whereby you've gone through something, like, for instance, a family matter. Like I've seen it with myself, like I was a defendant, and now I look back and I'm like, I have so much experience, and I would be able to take people through, because I'm already doing it. Yeah, why not do it in a certified way?
True. And also maybe just to mention that you may be in a case, the case maybe has gone so far, nothing stops you from just telling the judge, hold on, let's try mediation.
Exactly.
The judge is more than happy. Even if it's almost at the very end. The judge is more than happy to have you just settle it, and she comes and writes the agreement as it is. And maybe also I just mentioned in the bank when I was there, initially everybody thought, I was in the recovery unit, that as long as a matter has gone to court, then it must see the whole process through. It wasn't until I was with them and with my background told them, no, they may have gone to court. We may be in court with these people, but we still have the final say.
Exactly.
We can still negotiate. And actually we settled over 95% of those matters that were in court. And it was good. It was great. And right now banks are also really embracing mediation, which was not there in the past.
Exactly. Yes. Wow, Phyllis, I can't thank you enough. I feel like I've had my first masterclass in ADR. And thank you for taking your time. As Nest, we'll be here to also use our platform to reach out. Personally, as Maureen, I'll use my platform to educate. And thank you for the good work you're doing. And thank you for coming to the show tonight.
Thank you for having us, Women in ADR.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, I cannot say anymore. I've just had my masterclass. I feel amazing. And I hope you've learned something where you are. Look, even the younger you start, the better. You don't have to wait to be, to get all these certifications, which by the way, I must say, they're not cheap, but I feel like they're worth every penny, and we're all heading somewhere. Should you have an amazing way to educate our youth, a story to tell that you've overcome, a story to show that you're not alone, please reach us out on Y254 online social media and also our pages, and we'll be happy to host you. Until then, I've been your host, Maureen Y22. It's a good night for me.